cooperation. Where are you from?
We're from Denmark.
What do Denmark people think about speaking of Japan?
Generally speaking, I think we are thinking like pretty good about Japan and the Japanese people. Like it's very polite and it's very orderly people. So I think it's a very positive view of Japan as a general.
Good food.
Good food, yeah. Very good food.
After you coming to Japan, is there any difference between your image and real Japan?
I don't think so.
I've been to Japan many times over the years, so I think now I'm pretty used to thinking of Japan as I know it. I don't think my image is any different from what Japan is.
I think it lived up to all the expectations that I had, so like pretty much fulfilled everything I thought about it and confirmed my beliefs about Japan. So.
What Japanese food is very popular in Denmark?
Sushi,
But
but like
mostly.
you know, it's the Western style sushi, so a lot of rolls.
Yeah.
And then ramen is also very popular
Ramen.
recently.
What taste of ramen is very popular?
I think like tonkotsu is probably the most normal.
Oh,
Yeah.
tonkotsu is normal.
I think it's the most normal. Like
Or
just
miso or
I mean, I guess miso ramen is also kind of
Have you eaten ramen in Japan?
many times.
Is there any difference between the ramen in Denmark and Japanese ramen?
well, it's very rich. Like there's a very huge difference in flavor compared to back home. It's kind of bland back home compared to here. And then the presentation is like incomparable. The pork belly is also like it isn't really the same back home in Denmark.
It's much cheaper and they're much faster at making it.
That's true.
Once in Denmark, I remember I waited 45 minutes to get a portion of ramen, which is
It's
not very
surprising.
common in Japan. So yeah.
What Japanese culture is famous in Denmark?
I mean, actually, Sakura Fest, like Hanami, is used recently. It's getting quite popular. Yeah, and there's a lot of people of that recently. A lot of people like anime and stuff like that. I think.
Is
Yeah.
there any sakura trees in Denmark?
Yes, we had like some we got from Japan. So yeah.
Do you hanami in Denmark?
I think we've both been, but recently, the last few years I've been, I think it's become too much emphasis on manga and anime, and I don't really like when there's too much emphasis on that. So I haven't been in a few years.
I was there a couple of years ago, and it's become very popular. So they had to expand it because so many people were visiting. There's a big difference between people coming visiting and people that glorify anime. So it's this mixture of people.
A lot of otaku.
Yeah, I think it's a Comic-Con active like cosplaying, and then there's people just visiting for the food and for the sakura trees.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's pretty good. And it's like
Yeah, it's interesting.
some traditional. I think there was what's it called with the martial arts with the.
Kendo.
Yeah, it was a Kendo exhibition, which was pretty cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
I'm from Poland,
I'm from Croatia.
but we came from Dublin, Ireland.
What is famous for Japan in Dublin?
I don't want to say the cliche, which would be an anime, but the history, of course. We started with the hachiko here. The other thing what is famous are Japanese tourists, because you are traveling everywhere.
Maybe the Japanese food is really famous worldwide,
Yes.
so this is something we are excited to experience here. Like,
What Japanese food restaurant can you find in your country?
Famous or the most popular would be sushi, of course, and ramen.
sushi, I would say, is number
Yeah.
one. Like,
But regarding ramen, we went yesterday to one restaurant and it was a bit different than what we are experiencing.
the noodles were very thick.
They were udon.
Which do you like better, your country's ramen or Japanese ramen?
I'd say Japanese
Japanese
ramen,
for
but
sure.
we want to try more. We
Yeah.
just try one.
Anything else? For example, car or game or
I think Toyota, is it?
Toyota?
Mazda? Honda?
Ah, yeah.
My father is actually driving Toyota.
He is. Toyota Corolla, yeah. And the games, I can say what I played. So I played Devil May Cry. Enjoyed it really a lot.
I'm also coming from Poland, which Cyberpunk, that's the game that was developed there, but it's actually happening in Japan.
In Japan, yeah.
What about motorbike?
Honda,
Honda. Oh, yeah.
Yamaha. Not the brand, but the model is Ninja. But city close to Tokyo, isn't it? Kawasaki.
From
Like
Rijeka
I'm
in
from,
Croatia?
I'm coming from Croatia. Rijeka and Kawasaki, they're like friend cities, and I know that recently Kawasaki they filmed their advertise for the new motorbike or whatever they filmed in my
In
city
Rijeka?
in Croatia. Yeah.
There is a fountain in Rijeka which was also funded by Kawasaki,
By Kawasaki.
As a sign of friendship.
After coming to Japan, do you find anything you think it's amazing or it's strange or?
Our experience so far was very good because regarding the signs and where we have to go, there were many people that were helping us. So it's really hard to get lost, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that's on plus. So like I'd say that there is also a lot of tourists that are coming here, so a lot of materials are already online. So it was very straightforward. The other thing I could say is that cash. You need to have cash. We are more used to using cards to pay everywhere, and here you have to have a cash.
Yesterday we had a funny experience. We entered some very local ramen shop, and the lady she gave us menu
Yeah.
in Japanese, just straight 100% Japanese. We were like, all right, so give me that.
But,
then
Google-
they realized that they
We don't
obviously
understand,
no,
yeah.
we didn't have a clue. No, they gave us the menu
English
in
menu.
English.
Yeah.
We still didn't know what to order, but they had some recommendations.
So everything is, even if it's so different, we are finding our way.
Everything is great so far, yeah.
Thank you for the interview. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
We're from Australia, from Melbourne.
What do Australian people think speaking of Japan?
Everybody wants to go. People really like Japan. It's a really delicious place. Lots of
Yeah.
really good
Very
food.
About the food.
Yeah, the food. And yeah, very fun place to travel to.
Yeah, people say it's very safe and easy to travel.
What Japanese food is most famous in Australia?
Ramen, maybe?
Ramen.
Yeah.
What taste of ramen?
Like
Tonkotsu.
Tonkotsu?
Yeah.
Can you eat tonkotsu ramen in Australia?
Yeah, in
Wow.
some
It's
yeah,
surprising.
some places, yeah.
Have you eaten tonkotsu ramen in Japan?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it different?
Better, much better.
Can you choose the noodles soft and hard in your country?
Sometimes.
Not very often.
Not always.
Not
Yes.
always.
Is there any difference between your image and you really see in Japan?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the things that I've heard that it's just really beautiful and a lovely place to travel has been what I've found. But this is only our second day here.
I was surprised the first time I came about the amount of parks and like places where there's nature in the city. I really like that.
Do you like hearing beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We do. Yeah, it's good.
Have you had any other Japanese beer?
We had an Asahi.
Asahi yesterday.
Yeah.
Asahi.
Yeah. We had we haven't had a strong zero yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the three, which is the best?
We had an Asahi yesterday that had cherry blossoms on it. A pink Asahi, and that was very special.
Is there any taste difference between Japanese beer and Australian beer?
Less heavy, I reckon.
Yeah, lighter,
Yeah.
a bit more fresh, more crisp.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome.
Where are you from?
We are from France.
How long have you been in Japan?
We arrived yesterday and we want to stay 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
And we travel in Asia since 5 months.
5 months.
Yes.
Where have you visited?
We were in Laos, in Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, and now Japan.
And where are you going next?
Our next country is in France. It's called Nouvelle-Calédonie.
New Caledonia.
New Caledonia, I think in English. Yes.
What is Japan famous for in your country?
For the cherry blossom.
For the food and for the culture, for the people also.
What Japanese food is the most famous in France?
Sushi.
Sushi. Is there many sushi restaurants in France?
In France, yes. But in France, it's like fast food. There is many sushi restaurants in France. Yes.
Have you already eaten sushi or are you going to eat sushi in Japan?
We ate sushi yesterday when we arrived.
but we want to go to a sushi restaurant. My parents arrive in 2 weeks, and we want to share this with them.
What taste of sushi do you like?
What-
Tuna, egg, squid,
Salmon, avocado.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Yes.
What's the difference between French sushi and Japanese sushi?
It's hard to say because yesterday we only eat
Yeah.
one kind of sushi.
Yeah.
It was cucumber inside.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can't say for the moment.
In France, we have a good chef.
In France, we have famous cooker. They made some sushi also.
Have you decided which sushi restaurant are you going to go?
Not yet. We don't know.
Not yet.
Maybe you can advise us to.
Oh, you can find it from cheap price to very expensive one.
Okay.
Which do you like better, cheap one or expensive one?
Cheap.
Cheap
We have to
one?
be careful with the money because we travel for a long time. So
Yeah, cheap one is rolling sushi.
going sushi. Okay.
Sushi merry-go-round, right?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's very cheap.
Okay.
Okay.
You can eat not only sushi but also many desserts.
On many days. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Oh,
Thank you.
cool.
Many Japanese people go to Sushiro and Hamazushi.
Sushi or amasushi. Okay.
It's very famous cheap sushi restaurant for
Okay.
Japanese family.
Okay. And we can find it everywhere in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
What is Japan famous for in your country?
It's famous for everything is perfect.
Oh, really?
Trains on time, nice parks, nice garden, nature, cities, very
Wow.
various.
I think Switzerland has also beautiful nature. How do you like the Japanese nature?
I really like. Yeah, in Switzerland we have beautiful nature, but we don't have so big cities. So in Tokyo live more people than in whole Switzerland.
Do you have many friends
In Japan,
in Japan?
I have one friend in Kyoto and we will meet him.
How do you go to Kyoto? By airplane
Yeah,
or
by train.
train?
Yeah.
Shinkansen?
With Shinkansen.
Oh,
Or you
really?
can buy the Japan Rail Pass and then we can travel through Japan with,
so-
by train.
So
That's it.
do you have a Suica? If you have a Suica application, you can ride train by just touching.
The green one?
Yeah.
I have one, but I bought the red one at the airport. But Japan Rail Pass, it's not the Suica card, it's a different card for people from abroad. They can buy train ticket for 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then they can travel by train through Japan.
In this trip, what are you looking forward to see the most?
I'm very lucky to see the cherry blossom, the sakura. I didn't expect it that we will see it in April. That's very nice.
Yeah.
My little son wants to see Mount Fuji.
Is there any cherry trees in Switzerland?
No, we have lots of cherry trees as well, but it's not so touristic.
What flower is popular in your country?
Rose.
Rose. What color?
Red one.
Red one.
That's for love. Oh, but we gave it to mama or boyfriend to the girlfriend. Yeah,
Is
so
there many roses in the city?
Yeah, we do have little parks. We call it Rose Garden.
Thank you for the interview. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
Toronto, Canada.
What is famous for Japan and Canada?
Sushi? Cherry blossoms?
I think technology, like very advanced, the subway system here is very nice.
Yeah.
To get around the system is very easy.
I think Toronto has also subway system.
They do, but not as well done as
Developed,
Japan.
yeah.
It's not as well developed. Here you can go anywhere. There you still need there's a lot of cars
Yeah.
there. Here there's not too many cars.
Isn't it confusing, Japanese subway?
No, it's not actually.
Too bad, yeah.
It's very good compared to other places we've been to. It's probably one of the best, I think. A lot of English and everything's in English. It's good. It's easy.
How do you check the way to the destination?
We got a map actually. We do. So there's luckily there's a lot of Wi-Fi, so it's easy for us to just Google Maps and find a spot. But we also have a map with all the subway stations, which is helping a lot too. So it's been pretty easy, I think.
Do you use Suica?
Which one?
The ticket.
We have the Metro Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
so 3 days worth.
How much is it?
It was
30, I think, for both.
I guess it's very tourist friendly. So
Yeah.
it's good. It makes us feel comfortable, and it's very safe. The people here are very friendly. We were walking around at 3 a.m. last night. It was still busy, and it was very nice people. It's good.
What do you want to do in Japan?
We're just kind of sightseeing. We just checked out the dog here.
Yeah.
We heard the story about
Haji.
it. Yeah, she heard the
yeah.
story that.
Have you watched the movie?
No, we didn't know there was a movie actually.
The Hollywood made a film of
Really?
Haji.
Oh, we're gonna have to watch that
Yeah.
because we have a dog back home too. So
Oh, really?
we went to a cafe, the Shiba Cafe. It's very
Oh.
cool.
Is Shiba famous in Canada?
We have one. We have a neighbor of the Shiba actually too. So it's not very big, but they're around here and there. We've seen a few.
Is there any famous food because of its strangeness in Japan?
Strange food?
Strangeness.
I guess eel is not too common in Canada.
Have
Off
you
the top.
tried eel?
No.
We haven't yet, no.
So,
No.
are you going to try?
We're thinking about it, yeah.
It's more delicious than it looks.
Really?
Yeah, you
We'll give
can
it a
enjoy
try.
it.
Yeah, we'll try it. We'll
Yeah.
try it. I'm sure.
We have to.
Yeah. Thank you for the interview.